Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the 7th annual Southwest Ohio GiveCamp. Hopefully everyone has a good time. We always like to start out this way. We've done it since for a few years now. How many people is this their first GiveCamp? All right. How many their second GiveCamp? All right, go ahead. Matt went first again. All right, how many of their second GiveCamp? Third? Fourth? Fifth? Sixth? Seventh? All right, so what we'll do here opening ceremonies, this is really about the nonprofits. We'll go over some rules and logistics, but then each nonprofit will have 4 minutes maximum, because everybody wants to get started and have fun, to explain the mission of their nonprofit, and the team leads will come up and give about 30 seconds or so of what technology they're using, and then we're going to have a short, hopefully 15 minutes or less, self-selecting team selection process. So let's go through the logistics and rules here. Board of Directors for GiveCamp. Matt Brewer over there, Mike Barrett over there. Ryan was just making everyone hold their hand up too long. Jason's at the registration table, and I'm Eric Swartz. Organizers, in addition to those, Joe Combs is over there. Tim Lewis is over there. Jason's wife Angie's running around getting food and stuff ready for later. It's so noisy I didn't realize the music was still on. Hold on a second. There we go.
I just thought you liked the background.
Yeah, it's making it more fun that way.
Next time we're going to do a laser show.
So the question most people ask is, a lot of nonprofits especially ask, is how do you do this? How do you get all the people together? How do you do everything for free? The answer is sponsorships. So we have 3 different levels of sponsors. This year we actually only have gold sponsors and silver sponsors, which is fine because those are the 2 highest levels. So we'll go through the sponsors here. Engaged Partners, Centric Consulting, Sparkbox. On the silver level we have Booz Allen Hamilton, Burke Consulting, Pinnacle Solutions. And we had a few people do personal donations. Engaged employees chose to make personal donations out of their paycheck, as well as we had some of the people in this room that were volunteers made donations either on PayPal or Eventbrite site. So we thank anyone that did that. In addition to official sponsorship, we also have in-kind donations. And from the sign here, you can tell what our menu is for the upcoming days. The nonprofits often give us good discounts, or the restaurants often give us good discounts, or in some cases free food for the weekend. So that helps us cover our costs and everything else. And then Everleap offers free hosting for any of the nonprofits, free hosting for life actually for the nonprofits that sign up. We also need to thank Miami University. Rod Nix was sitting out there, he still is sitting outside. He's the director here. He's been very kind to us. They've hosted us all 7 years, give us a great rate on this nice facility. We couldn't do it without them, to be honest with you. Contact information, the Southwest Ohio GiveCamp Twitter site. I've been told Twitter is back up after the earlier internet issues today. I'm not sure I haven't been on it or not. Just use the social media tag SWOGC if anyone wants to do that. There's also a Slack group, if you're interested in that I think Ryan was setting up individual ones for separate teams. There's a team leads group, and organizers, we have some stuff, there's a general group as well. Logistics, I'm going to go over this multiple times in multiple slides. I know that, but we want to make sure everybody understands. Doors will lock at 8 o'clock tonight and 8 o'clock tomorrow night. There's a number on the door if you go out to your car to get something or whatever. That calls a security guard. Make sure you have your badge with you because she will not let you back in if you don't have the badge. So don't worry if you're locked out. There's a number there. Security guard here overnight. Schedule events. We already did registration. We're at opening ceremonies. I told you immediately after opening ceremonies is team selection. Then we have dinner. What we usually do is you go out these doors, you grab your dinner, and you head to your team rooms from there. You eat your dinner in your team rooms with your team, so that way you can start to talk and figure out what's going on and that sort of thing. So I have development begins at 7:20, but obviously there's some planning and things like that beforehand. We're open all night tonight, so anyone that wants to stay all night is welcome to. There will be a hot breakfast roughly around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, pancakes, and I saw sausage and some other things that we have that we're going to cook right here. Something new we're going to do this year that we haven't tried before, for any nonprofits that are here, we scheduled 3 nonprofit stand-ups. We have regular stand-ups with the team leads to make sure there's no problems. Sometimes things get missed, we want to get a different perspective. So at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, any nonprofits that are here, I'll show you a map in a little bit, in the command center we'll have a nonprofit stand-up. At noon, there's a group picture for everyone. Immediately after group picture, we'll come inside and get lunch. Any of you that have, yeah. That's right. Any Miami grads, we always have to take an extra picture for them because Rod publishes it, sends it to the Miami contacts. Thank you, Matt. If you have kids that are interested, we do a kids code camp with hour of code sort of curriculum. It's from 2 to 4 tomorrow. If you can't get there right at 2, you can probably show up a little late. That's why we made it 2 to 4 because some people had kids events and things, that sort of thing. Another nonprofit stand-up at 5 so we can see what progress has been done throughout the day. Dinner at 6, and then tomorrow night we close at midnight. We are not open all night tomorrow night. First couple years we were open all night, and no one stayed, and we were paying a security guard to guard an empty building. So we decided we'd close at midnight the second night because everyone's worn out by then anyways. And then Sunday we open back up at 7 o'clock in the morning. We have Panera for breakfast Sunday morning. We're going to have another nonprofit stand-up at 10 Sunday morning, and then in the AM we're going to have nonprofit training. The most important thing to do is have nonprofits have some kind of training so they leave here and be able to use their thing as opposed to just have it sitting on a shelf somewhere. Alan May up here has agreed to teach a WordPress class for anyone that's doing that. The time for this is to be determined. We're going to go around and talk to the nonprofits and figure out what their schedule is Sunday. Some people like to go to church Sunday morning and that sort of thing, so we'll try to work around those schedules as much as possible. Lunch at noon, and then closing ceremonies is at 3 o'clock. And we try to keep it usually ends up being an hour and 15 minutes or so because it takes a little longer to we demo the projects and everyone to see what they accomplished over the weekend. So hopefully everyone's out of here by 4:30. Rules. Miami is a tobacco-free campus. This includes e-cigarettes. It means the whole campus, not just the building. If you have to smoke, you have to go across the street to the park or across the street to the mall or something else sort of thing. You cannot smoke on campus. I talked about the building access at night already. I said I'm going to mention it multiple times because it's important. We always have a few questions and concerns on that. And then everyone's pretty good at this in general, but please clean up after yourselves if possible. We go around and help clean up as well, but there's plenty of trash cans. The cleaning crew will come out around a couple times throughout the weekend and clean up as well. So, I told you about nonprofits. We'll start the nonprofit introductions here. I just put on a map where all the nonprofits are from this time, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting to see. We call this Southwest Ohio GiveCamp. It's not Cincinnati GiveCamp, it's Southwest Ohio, so we have nonprofits from both Dayton and Cincinnati area. So our first nonprofit we have up is Civic Garden Center of Greater Cincinnati, and Jan Kavora Sims is their representative. Is Jan here yet?
Here. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm going to just throw in a shameless ringer for the Civic Garden Center here. How many people have heard of the Civic Garden Center? Wow, that's great. How many people have been there? Okay, we've been waiting for you. That's where you've all been, sitting in front of computers. We're so excited. This is our second time at GiveCamp. It gives us a chance to make a quantum leap in our technology at the Civic Garden Center, and let me see if I can remember our mission statement while I'm standing in front of all of you. It is to build community through gardening, education, and environmental stewardship. And I think we're very successful in doing that. One of our flagship programs is the community gardens that we have helped develop. There are, at this time, about 60 within the greater Cincinnati area. And they range anywhere from foraging gardens to strictly community gardens, where folks just come so that they can have some good food choices for their families. Our success is being gauged by the amount of food deserts that are disappearing in our area, and anyone wanting to know more about that is welcome to come and talk to me later on. I'll be here all weekend. For this project, we are putting together, for lack of any better word, a dashboard which will contain all of the information about our community gardens, and it will enable the general public or anyone who's really interested in doing some gardening there to find out about the gardens, if there are vacancies there, who they should contact, what any particular garden is famous for, or how many pounds of food they have donated to food pantries in the year. There's just going to be really a host of information there that we're very excited about, and it will get people to the gardens more quickly rather than handing them around to different staff members. So we're very excited about this, and David's here. He's our steward through all of this, and he's grabbing the bull by the horns. He's got it under control.
As Jan said, I'm David Galella. I'll be leading the project. We'll be developing this in MVC5, ASP.NET, Bootstrap. So if anybody has Microsoft background skills that would like to help develop a mobile-friendly web application, you're going to want to look for this sign right here as I'm waving it into this. So, I will also be using SQL Server a little bit, so if anybody also wants to do a little database work, you're also welcome to stop in. Thanks.
Next up, we have Dayton Community Revitalization Network, and Emma Andrews is their representative. We'll come back around to them. It's in here. Yeah, it's farther down the list. They're in alphabetical order. Exclusive Services is next up then. I'm going to try to pronounce your last name. Sean Guilfoyle.
That was Guilfoyle. That's a lot better than this one. Good evening, everybody. So, Exclusive Service is a non-profit social service agency. We specialize in chemical dependency counseling. We have also just recently expanded and integrated primary healthcare and behavioral health into our facility, so we are just a one-stop social service agency. We also have a mentoring program. We offer continuing education and recognized block hours credits for professionals in the field. So the scope of our project is, for Marco too, because I think I sent him 2 pages of stuff that we would like. But what we really want to do is rework our website. We've had one for a little while, it's fairly rudimentary, and what I'd like to do is allow people to come to our site with all of our new services and be able to navigate that, figure out what it is that they need, and for us to be able to help them with the most efficiency as possible. So what we're looking to do is add, calendar of events and group times. We also want to add a donation page. That's something that we haven't had in the past. As well as, people be able to subscribe, to a newsletter, and then really just have it to be easily accessible for the patients. And we would like to have that, in a mobile platform that's also friendly for users.
So we're doing a WordPress implementation. So anyone has any experience with WordPress would be great. Also, anyone has any UI UX experience. I don't know if everyone is in Louisville this week, but is anyone available for that? That would be great as well.
Next up, we have Generation Dayton, and Jared Frenzel is their representative. I'm going to make you come today.
How's it going? All right. So Generation Dayton is part of the Chamber of Commerce for the Greater Dayton area. We are focused on engaging young professionals, not only socially, but professionally and in their community. I myself am a part of the Community Service Committee, so we're doing projects at least once a month, trying to get people connected to the city. I myself am a transplant, grew up about 40 minutes south of Nashville, came up here for a job with AmeriCorps, and kind of spent the first year either at work or at my apartment. And then that second year kind of got involved with Generation Dayton, and got me to explore the city and find some new things to do, as well as meet some people that have like-minded interests. We're all really engaged and looking to give back to the community and connect. Our main goal is to retain talent in the Dayton area. We know that there's a lot of brain drain with all the colleges that are here. People tend to flee to the coasts because we don't have beaches or nice sunsets or anything. So we want to try and keep people here. We've got a lot of growth coming in, especially with technology and other manufacturing. So we want to make sure that those corporations can maintain a good workforce.
Hi, I'm Alex Argo. I'm the team lead, and basically our back end got discontinued under us that we built the app on last year. So we need to basically just migrate the existing app over, and then there's a couple minor bug fixes that we need to look into. So there's a lot of people who were on the team last year, so we'd love help from them again, and any other Android or iOS developers, feel free to come over if you want to do some of that.
Next up is GLSEN of Greater Cincinnati. Their representative is Mika Jones.
Good evening. GLSEN is Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, and we're a nonprofit organization that actually go into the school systems and make the school system safe for all students, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender expression. So what we are looking for is an app to put on our device, so when we actually go out to different events and we don't have Wi-Fi connection, we can still gather information and upload it later.
Hi, I'm Jillian Cross. I'm going to be the team lead for this project. And basically, they have a Android tablet that this is going to run on. So we're going to build this as a hybrid app. So anyone who's worked in Cordova or like a JavaScript framework like Angular or Sencha, we'd love to have you be part of the team. So thanks.
Next up is Hyde Park Center for Older Adults, and the representative there is Deb Siprich.
We're just so excited to be benefiting from all this volunteer brain power and energy. Really appreciate it. We are a senior center, and our goal is to help older adults stay at home safely, independently, and in a thriving way. Because I'm sure all of us here are aging every minute, and some more than others, and we have a lot of people in their 80s, 90s, and living in low incomes. Even though we are in Hyde Park, we serve 7 neighborhoods, and not everyone is well off. And even if they have money, they have needs for friends and problem solving and lots of things like that. So we have a transportation program, we have a lunch program, a very experienced case manager, and lots of activities at the center. And what we need is a new website. Our website was created in 2007 by a board member who's not around anymore. We can't maintain it. It's no good on local platforms. It just needs updated because we have a lot of information that we need to be conveying to caregivers, to our members, and we'd like to be able to do a lot more with it.
My name is Joe Fox, and we're going to do move it over to WordPress. Hey, and but we're going to base it on a responsive template, and the main focus is to build up for the future and really train them on how to improve it and maintain it going forward. That's very important to do, of course. That's pretty much it. So yeah, anyone who's familiar with WordPress or HTML or CSS, feel free to come on.
Next up is Louise Legacy, and Justine Meyer is the nonprofit representative and team lead for this project.
Hi, actually our president is currently in Staten Island right now, so I've been with the organization since it started, so I step in. Louise Legacy is a no-kill animal rescue that was founded in 2009. Since 2009, we've saved 8,500 animals. We average about 2,000 a year, and it's growing. It is foster-based, volunteer-run. There is a very small staff, but the volunteers are the ones that screen each application and make sure that each animal is placed with a proper home. Often we take animals that are usually listed as, unwanted, if you think about like your pit bulls, or we pull animals from hoarding situations, animals that have been dumped for any kind of medical reasons. We take them in, we rehabilitate them and get them adopted to another home so they're no longer suffering and they live a long, happy life. As far as the project goes, the site was built in 2009 on a Joomla platform. Whatever version of Joomla existed in 2009 is what the site is running right now. So from an admin perspective, it's a user nightmare, but it is just a security hack waiting to happen. It was built by another volunteer who hasn't really maintained it, so I have been maintaining it. I hate Joomla. I find it's just really difficult for anyone to come in and kind of use. So we're going to build it on a WordPress site, which is still not my favorite, but it gets the job done. So we have to rebuild the site. We have an existing design that somebody was kind enough to do for us. So we have that. We also are looking into, if there's enough time and if the scope isn't too big, we want to build a volunteer portal to allow volunteers to come in, get whatever forms they need. A lot of times we need medical forms and everything to be accessible. The site also has to be, we're looking, it has to be responsive. Our current site's not responsive. Some of the forms don't work if you're on a tablet, and since all our forms, our adoption forms, foster forms, and everything are on the site, we kind of need them to work wherever. Another thing that we do need, because we list our animals on the site, we can embed them on an iframe, but we also have access to the API. So if you have experience using that and you want to kind of build our own little library of animals, that would be great. And I think that's all for us. Oh, and I get to sign.
Next up is Santa Maria Community Services, and Brittany Robbins is their representative.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for this opportunity. I want to say that first, I really appreciate this. We have done GiveCamp in the past. I was not a part of the organization then, so I'm actually not even sure what our project was, but hopefully this one is something people will remember. So I work for an organization that's in Price Hill. It's west of Cincinnati. Does anyone know Price Hill area? Okay, I'm shocked. I'm from Virginia. I had no idea what Price Hill was, and yeah, it's you know what it is. You kind of know like situation that's going on there. So we help service families in Price Hill. We do a lot with all the individuals and families there, basically trying to build stable families. So we do anything from educational resources, financial resources, health resources, things like that, just to make sure people get on their feet, or at least stay on their feet, stay in their homes, stay in school, stay out of trouble, that kind of thing. So we are looking for, surprise, surprise, a website. And I know that's not the most exciting thing. I actually was on Slack and kind of reading through the comments, and I saw someone say, is there anything else to do besides a website? So I'm sorry, but I promise it will be a fun project if you're on ours. So right now we're working with Concrete 5. I just can't manage it on my own. There's one person helping us, and I kind of don't get feedback from them for a few weeks, so we're trying to look for something easy and simple to maintain for us, and also something easy for our users.
Hello. We are looking at making a very simple WordPress website with some Google Forms and Google Analytics integration if possible. So anyone interested, please, we could use your help. And yes, one more thing, we do definitely need some UI inputs if anyone would like to contribute that way. That would be great. Thank you.
Next up is Special Olympics of Hamilton County, and their representative is Lindsay Parch.
So my name is Lindsay, and again, I'm a Special Olympics. How many of you know what Special Olympics is? Okay, so Special Olympics is not a one-day track and field event like everyone kind of thinks it is. We're a year-round sports organization, national organization. We have actually international. We have 170 countries involved, 25,000 athletes in Ohio. And specifically in Hamilton County, we have 1,500 athletes, and we are currently growing, getting into Cincinnati Public Schools. The nation has 52 chapters. Ohio is ranked in the top 10. So we do year-round sports training and competition for our athletes. They have to train 8 to 10 weeks and go to practice just like everyone else before they get to go to the competition. We offer traditional sports, which is athletes versus athletes, and we offer unified sports. So you and I on a team with the athletes. Being an athlete is simple as an intellectual disability. Does anyone know what an IEP is in school? Learning disability? Okay. Some of you might have been on that, things like that. That is what qualifies an athlete. So everything from a learning disability to our most severe athletes. That's what people don't realize. I was talking to some of the nonprofits earlier, kind of trying to talk about why we're here. I wanted to show you a quick video. Sorry, this takes a little bit of your time. It's about 3 minutes. But this organization is about the athletes. It's not about me. We only have 4 employees. That's it. So I want to show you this video of the athletes talking about Special Olympics really quickly, so that way you guys can get a sense of how important this is to them. This is their chance to be out in the community and them finally realizing that they are productive and important member of society, which they may have not found otherwise. So, thank you.
Track and field, I've done a whole bunch of different sports for this lovely organization.
Anybody that loves the sport, we're looking for those individuals.
We do offer sports and activities for folks ages 8 to 80. We start with our Young Athletes program where they learn the basic skills involved with some of our sports, continue on into high school and college, and then as they go into adulthood and take on a job, there are other activities, other sports for which they can develop an affinity different than before.
By being on volunteer over the years that I've done it, it's kind of cool to see all the individuals grow up. From the beginning of the season to the end, you'll see each individual will grow and become better at that sport.
I've been boxing since I was 18 years old.
Just come out here now. Sometime in my life, I'm gonna bowl at 300.
Won 2 bronze and 1 silver in Special Olympics.
South Korea was fun to see people and their culture and how they did stuff up there.
I got first in the Giants Hall.
Special Olympics is different than a lot of organizations in that the cost of participation is, there is no cost, no charge to the athlete themselves. All the sports, all of the transportation, all of the activities, the medals, the coaching is all sponsored and paid for by Special Olympics Hamilton County. As a result of that, we do fundraising activities to make that happen here.
Special Olympics is a wonderful thing to keep active after school because school ends, but Special Olympics goes forever. And these individuals are around playing together from all different parts of the community.
It's one of the best organizations that I've been involved in. It's really neat to see all the different people from little kids to full-grown adults, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, all participating as one team. It's really cool.
I love doing it. I'm passionate about it. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You meet new people.
Sharing my knowledge and my passion for the organization is what drives me to want to do good, to show other people that, you know, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it.
So I'm Brenda Conan, I'm the lead for the Special Olympics, and just like a lot of the other groups, we need a new website, and they currently use Umbruco, and they want to switch to WordPress. They would like to automate some forms. Right now they do PDFs where people have to print them out for their athletes, their volunteers, and for donations. So they would like to create forms where they can fill them out and have them emailed directly to the Special Olympics. They would also like to have a calendar. Right now they're using the Google Calendar, which they have a few problems with. So they would like a calendar, and then they've done a really great job of defining requirements. They have sheets for every page that they want. They have the content there. So you can grab a sheet, create a page, and all of that. So they're really prepared for this weekend and have done a good job. Thanks.
Next up is St. Peter and Paul Academy. Audrey Stites is their representative.
Hi everybody, I'm Audrey Stites. I'm actually just a board member and a grandmother and one of the founders at the school. This is actually our principal. She can fill in out for us any other information I leave out. I can tell you that our archdiocese closed our school probably about 10 years ago. We are really proud that we just this past year had our first kindergarten class go all the way from kindergarten through the 8th grade, and they have all graduated, and we are so excited. We are an independent Catholic school in Reading, Ohio. We have a enrollment right now of 125 kids, which is the most we've probably had. And we are an absolutely awesome school. I'll just take a short second to tell you that the way we started our school was with no money, just people that wanted to keep our kids in the community, close by, and not have to go to other communities. So we're kind of a blue-collar area in Reading, and we're very proud of that. We have, with 125 kids that started that long ago, we started out with probably half that many, and we had a lot of grandparents and parents in this area that wanted to stay close by. We didn't have the funds to do it, but we had someone who donated a Corvette. You may have heard about it. We had a blue Corvette that was absolutely awesome. We raised enough money to open our school. Our volunteers, even though all of our teachers are credentialed and experts and very, very loving and dedicated, we even have volunteers that teach our computer classes and our art classes, and they don't even get paid. We don't even pay a janitor in our school. Everyone that goes to our school is expected to help clean. Some people have more time than money, so if you can't afford to come down there and help clean the johns and wash the windows and do all the things that you have to do to keep the school facilities nice, you can pay money. And we work out a plan for everybody. We've never really turned anybody away. So our website, unfortunately, is we work with WordPress. And as you all know, teachers and principals have their hands full, so we can't really expect our teachers and our principals to do all the
web information, and most of us don't have that knowledge. So I think we use WordPress right now. We're hoping to expand on that and learn about it. And hopefully when Glenda and I go back, we will have learned enough that we can find some people that can help us maintain it, update it, add pictures, and do all those things. But it has to be user-friendly, not only for the general public, but also for those of us with not enough technology. So it looks to me like we're going to be a success because I see a lot of really smart people here. Glenda, can you add a few things?
Well, when I was listening to the gentleman who was from Dayton, you said that you don't have beaches there. We don't even have beaches in Reading either, but we have Mill Creek that runs right behind our school, so it's a great place to be. It is beautiful. We love our school, and we would like our website to be much easier for us to use. Many times there's things that need to go on the website, and because we rely on our volunteers, they're not in the building, and it's something that I need today. I need to be able to use it, and that's not the case. So, yeah, we welcome all the help we can get, and we really appreciate this opportunity, so thank you.
Hi, I'm the team lead, Josh Becker, and as I said, it is a WordPress site. So we're looking to make a good amount of UI changes, clean it up a bit, do some calendar integrations, things like that. So if you have WordPress experience, or if you're good with CSS and UI, UX work, join us.
Next up is Westward Collaborative Network Neighborhood Association and Seminole Mariner is their representative.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Seminole Mariner. I'm the president of the Westwood Collaborative Neighborhood Association, which is located in Dayton, Ohio. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the structure in Dayton in reference to the neighborhoods. At Dayton, there are 7 principal neighborhoods in Dayton, and we are in what we call the Southwest neighborhood. Of the Southwest neighborhood, there's 11 planning districts. Westwood is the largest of those planning districts in the Southwest neighborhood. And because we are the largest, we have more residents. And because we have more residents, we have a little bit more people that we have to take care of and get information out to. And we feel a website would be very helpful to us in reference to reaching the audience that we're trying to reach, because we live in a neighborhood where we do have a lot of seniors and we do have a lot of young people also, but it's a growing neighborhood. And because it's so large, we need to get the information out to as many people as we can. And a lot of our young people and some of our seniors are going to the library to use the web. So this would be a great opportunity for us to get our information out, let people know who we are, what we're about, what projects we are planning, because we do plan quite a few projects in the area. And we also partnership with other areas that may be outside of our areas to do projects also. So we're trying to get the people more involved in the neighborhood, in the Westwood neighborhood.
Hello, I'm Alan Garrison, team lead for this project. We're going to implement the website in something called WordPress. This is a brand new website. We just set up the hosting space for it today. We don't even have the domain name yet, so this is kind of a from scratch kind of thing. Don't have a theme picked out or anything, so if you are familiar with WordPress, that would be great to look for Westwood. Also, since this is a brand new website, what we might also need is perhaps someone who is good with making up marketing flyers, because we do have to advertise this within the neighborhood. So if you have some sort of marketing kind of thing, perhaps check us out as well. So thank you.
Next up is Wise Educational Services. Their representative is Carmelia Osley.
Hello everyone. My name is Carmelia Osley. This is the second year that we have participated in GiveCamp, and it is truly a pleasure to be back yet again. We are a nonprofit educational program. I founded Wise Educational Services in 2013. Our primary focus at this time are educational programs for youth. When we were here last year, we had one small location in Huber Heights, Ohio. where we hit maximum capacity in that facility. We were servicing up to 100 students per week, offering tutoring services in an 825 square foot building that had 2 small classrooms that seated 10 per room. Needless to say, I expanded. We are now in Trotwood, Ohio, and in Huber Heights. We have 1,700 square feet in Trotwood and maintain the 800 square feet building in Huber. It was a wonderful thing to hear from one of the other nonprofits that they are run by volunteers. I have never taken a salary at Wise Corp. I founded it. Every dime that comes in, goes right back in. And I started it with, not ashamed to say, $7,000 of my own money. Had no idea if it would float. It's not only floating, but it is thriving, okay? Standing with me are 2 of my main volunteers, my right hand and my left hand. They are both high school students, James Trey McDaniel and Galella Kifle. They began working with me this summer through the Youth Works program that's offered in Dayton, Ohio. Both were so dedicated that they were only paid for 20 hours per week. Trey, however, works 40. He still volunteers, even now that they're in school. I cannot afford to pay these kids money, so what I do is I give them tutoring services. They earn 2 hours of tutoring services every day that they come in to work with me. And just to give you some idea, they normally work 5 to 6 hours, but I give them the 2 hours, and I blessed them today on the way down here. I gave them both gift cards, so they were sort of surprised. They didn't expect that. But education, that is my passion. I'm also a teacher at a Catholic school, but there are so many children that are in need of academic tutoring that absolutely fall through the cracks. They cannot afford the Sylvans. They cannot afford the Kumans. I know one family, their family actually took out a loan to take their child to Sylvan Learning Center. It did not work for her, and she was still yet paying off the loan after her child stopped attending. I had a novel concept. I charge $15 per hour, $25 for an hour and a half, and $30 for 2 hours. I have families across all socioeconomic stratas. I have doctors, I have families on welfare. And what we do is the families that can afford it, they pay more for their services. We put that in a tutoring scholarship fund and help the other families who hit on hard times. So we were here last year. We started our site. My loyal, fabulous Trey Howard, he was our project lead last year. He took ill and was not able to see it through. But all of the other volunteers that were on our team, man, they stuck with me for weeks after it was over, weeks. And they all doted upon me as to how well I did with the site. I did the best I could. I'm a novice, but I learned so much. This time, what I am in dire need of, I need a designer to help take it to the next level. We bought a fabulous template, but it needs some sprucing up. I've also had another volunteer, one of my parents, has built some forms for me. She's tried to load them up into WordPress, however, they're locking and they will not open up. They're not active. But they're made. They're all done, active and ready to go if we can just figure out how to get them loaded. There were other small things I couldn't do. I couldn't figure out how to get my corporate and my divisional fonts to load up onto the site. So these aren't a lot of really hard things, but they're things I simply do not know how to do. These 2 have helped me over the past few weeks. We have taken the pages of the current site, updated the content, and we are ready. We've got it saved on a drive, on Google Drives. So it's literally going to, in most instances, be a cut and paste straight onto the WordPress site. As I said, I'm a novice, but I'm pretty doggone good, I think. So that's what they tell me. And I also want these 2 taught because they are so willing to help me in any way that they can. This is an activity or something that they can do from home. They don't have to come in, and I can still give them their volunteer hours. They clock in remotely, and then I reward them as best we possibly can. So that is my need. I thank you all for your volunteer time. You are greatly, greatly appreciated.
So as Carmelia mentioned, I'm Trey Howard. WordPress site was stood up last year. Looking to do some updates. which Cornelia just outlined, so I won't repeat it. But we are in need of a designer to help give a facelift and, as she said, take it to the next level. That's it.
Next up, we have Women Helping Women. Kristen Trimplin, their representative.
Good evening. My name is Kristen Smith-Shrimplin. I'm the president and CEO of Women Helping Women. So first, thank you. This is pretty awe-inspiring that you're all here and you're going to be locked down to do great work. It's great to see a lot of wonderful, inspiring nonprofits. Listen, I love your organization. I'm so glad you guys are represented. So what does Women Helping Women do? We are the experts in addressing and trying to end, it's difficult, sexual violence, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking in our region. We serve Hamilton County, Butler County, Preble County, and we're going to be launching soon to Brown and Adams. It's kind of Amish land out that way. And they need our services as well. So the deal is, we're experts in what we do with intervention and serving survivors. We show up where they're at. We show up at 16 hospitals. We show up in all the police districts in Cincinnati Police Department. We show up at the prosecutor's office. We show up on college campuses. We're at University of Cincinnati, Miami University, Xavier University. We show up where they need us. We show up on the hotline 24/7, 365 days a year. We show up in the schools to do prevention. We're in 20 different schools. So that's great. That's what we can do. And we do it well, and we do it through an empowering lens, because no one deserves abuse, but unfortunately, 1 out of 3 women in their lifetime are experiencing it. And the part that really gets me is 1 out of 4 girls before they're 18 experience sexual violence. So it's a public health epidemic. We have served record numbers. I just looked at our hotline calls. This year, this quarter, compared to last year, 100% increase. So there's an issue. What we're not experts in, and I know y'all are it sounds like you're not excited about the websites and WordPress and all that. I need you to get excited, because we're called Women Helping Women. We serve men, we serve everyone, gender non-conforming. We need all of you, or a key team, to help us. Go ahead, look at our website. It's ugly. It's outdated, it's not intuitive, it's not user-friendly, you can't pull it up on a cell phone, you can't call our hotline when you press it. We can't have that. You've been hearing a national dialogue, people are talking about this issue. They're going to our website and they're seeing something that is dead and static, and they cannot get that impression that it's who we are. They have to get the impression that we're vibrant, we're full of hope and empowerment, and we're here to respond to their needs. I can get that message in rooms like this. I cannot get that message virtually. That's why I need you. So I need some change agents and people who are passionate, and I'm pretty sure they're here.
I'm Tara Manasick. I'm the team lead on this project, and as Kristen was saying, the site needs to be a beacon for the survivors and also a good representation of the organization for people who want to help with this cause. So we are looking for a team to work on a WordPress site, but we also want to integrate some Google technologies, some analytics and forms, and hopefully kind of incorporate some social networks, some Twitter feeds and Facebook, and just make it really easy for people to use because of the situation that they're coming into the site. We want to make it as easy to use and understand as possible. And we have a whole bunch of stuff already lined up for us. They did a really great job getting all of the design, style guide, everything we need. We have the theme set up, we have DreamHost set up, so we just basically have to put a lot of energy into making this site as amazing as it can be for this organization. So join our team.
Next up is Dayton Community Revitalization Network. Their representative is Emma Andrews.
Good evening, everyone. The Dayton Community Revitalization Network was brought together in 2007. Our main focuses at the time that we had 12 charter members in the beginning was to focus on the Dayton public school system and our children. Number two, we wanted to direct some attention to ex-offender reentry. And we also wanted to support economic and community development. As a nonprofit agency, we have been operating since 2009 under the federal 501c exemption. We have brought together information from our neighborhoods to help us determine what part of these three focuses would best be addressed and when we should address them. And in order to prioritize, we started out with our Dayton public school system, trying to find out some of the needs of the children for after school. We've had ex-offender reentry summits where we brought people in from all over the state of Ohio in order to voice what they feel is important in reference to ex-offender reentry. 2016, we were able to be supported by the city of Dayton to provide a business owner summit where we bring businesses that are existing in our city together to advise entrepreneurs, of those people that have dreams of opening their own businesses, and finding out what are some of the touch points that they need to know about in order to be successful and sustained once they are created. At that event, we were lucky enough to have a representative from the state of Ohio come in to do on-site registration. That day that we had the summit, we had 6 entrepreneurs that registered and became new businesses in our city to help support our community. The one thing that we noticed in doing the marketing for what we do as an agency is the fact that we needed a better way to get out to the public, no matter what neighborhood in Dayton or community, what we really do when we meet, what the important focuses are, and how they can relate to what we do in reference to what they experience themselves. So we have never had a webpage. We have Facebook. We found also that in trying to market our services, Facebook really didn't enable us to get out the type information that we really wanted people to know about us. So we were blessed in getting awarded the participation with GiveCamp to come in and have them create for us what we're looking for to get our messages out to the community. It's very important to us to see our kids thrive. We also want to make sure that anyone coming back into our community as an ex-offender has someone that they can go to find out where they need to go, who they may need to see. And then economic and community development is important to everyone. Whether you're a business or a resident, there's still important issues that need to be discussed. And a lot of new businesses, they have the dream behind the dream, I would say, where they want to start. They don't know where to start. They want to find out where to go. So as DCRN brings together the people in the community, they're able to give information to these people to help them. They're able to work with our City of Dayton, their Economic Development Planning Department. They're able to work with neighborhood businesses that have been in business for years and get some pointers and some tips. And participating with us will help them in the long run to provide the sustainability that they need in order to keep going. So we are not only a community nonprofit, we're also an information and resource hub, and we believe that the creation of us having a web page will get that information out to the public as they see fit.
Yeah, so like Emma mentioned, we're going to do a website, I guess. WordPress, anybody heard of it? That's what we're going to do over the weekend. So WordPress skills, designers, UI, But I think they also want to make a logo for them to use on their material, their marketing materials, so if anybody has those kind of skills, that would be helpful as well. So that's what we're doing this weekend. Hope to see you.
All right, so first off, I know there's a lot of websites this year. There's multiple reasons for that. One is it's something we can get done in a weekend easily and have a big impact on the organizations. Two is a lot of stuff switching to WordPress, and the reason why we had said people, if they don't know another CMS, to pick WordPress because there's so much documentation and support, and it can be maintained more after that. As a developer, I know it's not as exciting doing websites, but the other reason is, think of it as you're here to help these nonprofits. That's why we lead with the nonprofits in the opening ceremonies and have them talk about their mission, so you understand what you're doing this for, sort of thing. It's the reason why we're doing it. So, yes, we still want you to have fun, still want you to learn something, but it may not be as sexy and exciting as you expected. So, map and location of where things are. There's maps posted several other places. There is, and you have to kind of be upside down for the way this map is. Actually, no, maybe I have to be upside down for the way this map is oriented. Room 100, down there on the left, far left. Westward Collaborative Network Association, Women Helping Women, St. Peter and Paul Academy. Going down the other hallway, the first door on the right is our command center. So if you have any questions, need to find an organizer, can't see one walking around, hop in there. Someone will probably be there. First door on the left, Civic Garden Center and GLSEN. Last two rooms are probably the biggest rooms here. Generation Dayton Community Revitalization, Exclusive Services, Wide Educational Services are on the left, the 127. Right is Hyde Park Center, Louise Legacy, Santa Maria, and Special Olympics of Hampton County. Logistics, I mentioned we're going to have a few team leads, or a few stand-ups for nonprofits. We're going to have stand-up for team leads. It says every 2 hours. We'll start out that we adjust the schedule based on things are going. So the first one is going to be 9:30. We'll have another one later tonight. We may not only have two tonight, depending on how long people stay. Tomorrow's schedule will be dependent on me, basically, sort of thing. But start out idea of every 2 hours. If teams need stuff, they can either post it on Slack or can come in the organization command center, and we'll have a job board up there of what people are looking for. We've done in the past of calling people on Skype and other things, trying to find outside resources if we can. Call me list if you're a volunteer and you're leaving, and it's like, well, if someone needs this, I'll come back and help, but if other things going on, stop by and let us know that. Reminder again that we're going to be closing at midnight on Saturday, open at 7 a.m. We try to accommodate, we ask for vegetarian, things like that, dietary needs. We try to accommodate, at least have some option for those things. If there's something else you need, stop and find one of us organizers, and so we'll get something resolved so you have something to eat. We don't want anyone to go hungry this weekend. We shouldn't, there's plenty of food. Lessons learned from previous GiveCamp. What happens at GiveCamp stays at GiveCamp. Not quite like Las Vegas, but in the fact that you're here, you volunteered your time for this weekend. You didn't volunteer your time for 6 months from now or a year from now or whatever sort of thing. If you want to do that, it's more than welcome to. We're happy that people do it and keep maintaining things, but you're not obligated to fulfill any requirements after this weekend. Talked about training earlier. That's very important to make sure you have a trainable training and maintainable project. Have it deployable early and often. Things happen. Team leads may get sick and have to go home, right, Trey? Other things happen, and make sure you have something that when they leave this weekend, they have something they continue to use. And then there's always downtime. You're waiting for things to upload or whatever sort of thing. Check with teams around your room. Go visit some other rooms, see what other projects are. We have room sponsors in several of the rooms. They have materials set up, so go check out to frequent the sponsors, see what materials they have, that sort of things as well. So that brings us, we're exactly on time at 7 o'clock somehow. So we're at team selection. Ryan's going to lead us through the team selection process.
One more thing.
Okay.
There's you'll see a brown paper on the wall out here that has Post-its hanging on it with markers. That's our feedback wall. So you can put on what you liked about GiveCamp, what you really didn't like, things we can improve, anything throughout the weekend. Throw it on a Post-it and stick it up there. And be honest, obviously we won't know it was you. I'll try to look people writing and make sure, no.
That's
It's really
what I'm
nice. If you want to sneak post it up there and put it on later, do it. But please give us feedback on the event so we can use it to improve future events. Thank you.
All right. Welcome, everybody. GiveCamp. Ready to rock and roll? Good. So if you were here the last 2 years, we're going to do things pretty much the same way we've done them in the past. A couple of years, during registration, we didn't ask you what you know, what tech you are working on a day-to-day basis. We figured we can figure that out in the next 15 minutes and get everybody rocking and rolling. What you won't see on the wall that you've seen in the last couple of years are the names of all the not-for-profits. Usually we did that, we kind of stationed them along the wall. Eric was awesome enough to bring and build these super awesome sticks, things here. Picket sticks? Picket signs, that's what I'm looking for. Picket sticks, picket sticks. Yeah. I know where your head's going. All right, so the idea is I'm going to ask all the team leads right now if you can't stand up. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. Everybody real quick realize that these folks got together with the not-for-profits earlier. So a big round of applause for our team leads.